there's so many radio waves just blasting through our bodies at any given time.
It makes you feel better. Like, we've been exposed to the cosmic background radiation since time immortal, so
That's true.
They're just a little more useful now.
Even as young particles of stardust.
Damn, don't get all
hurtling through the atmosphere.
Carl Sagan on me. Hello and welcome once again to Defeasible Reasoning here. For this time at the Epic Studios of Grand Rapids Community College's media complex, alone with my good friend Noah DeSmet.
Hello.
And if you're alone with somebody, are you really alone? Sometimes you're very, very alone. And we're going to talk about this upcoming conference called GrrCON.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
GrrCON is West Michigan's probably premier information security and hacking conference. There's a lot of like information security stuff that goes on around here. But I think GrrCON's the only one who really plays up sort of the gray hat side of things a little bit.
So what does GrrCON actually stand for? So it's GrrCON. I imagine the CON stands for conference.
Yep.
Like GR, I imagine, is Grand Rapids. So what is that?
Other than just sounding cool, he's also the little alien robot from Invader Zim.
Oh,
But I think mostly it's the airport designation for Gerald Ford International Airport.
Oh, I see. So it's just like GRR conference, Grand Rapids conference.
Right. Because
okay.
I don't know if Chris is going to be a busy guy. He's got a sister conference he started when he was in Minneapolis called GrrCON because it is cold up there.
Oh, okay.
Even compared to around here.
But it's a West Michigan, specifically cybersecurity conference, or is it kind of all things computer information systems?
Well, mostly it's this one's strictly information security, right? So it's hackers, it is people who play defense. You know, the kind of people we have on the show will be walking around the conference floor, and our plan is to ambush them with microphones and talk to them about things. They try and bring together the people who are like doing the hacking. Do you remember the story about the guy with the airplane got stopped by the FBI when he walked out of there?
Oh, yeah.
That dude presents almost every year, it seems like. He's an interesting character. Probably will have his utility kilt rocking. You never can tell.
Okay.
It's cool this year. Both of the keynotes, the Thursday and Friday keynote, are going to be put on by females in this space.
Okay.
So that's... It's for IT in general, cybersecurity in particular, both get a bad rap about being hostile to gender diversity, but I think we're working on that.
Yeah. That's cool. So both keynotes are...
Yep.
That's great.
And then Chris Roberts is the guy we're talking about with the airplane thing. He's
okay.
a interesting fellow. You also get guys like Wolfgang, I believe he pronounces his last name Goldrich, and he's really involved with... I think he's still over in Detroit. But does a Facebook podcasty kind of thing, like a Facebook live stream called Stuck in Traffic that I check out from time to time. So he'll be down there. So like really interesting people. Sometimes this conference punches way above its weight too. I think they had Moxie Marlinspike. He's the guy. He found some pretty impressive vulnerabilities in the cryptography used to make the internet work. And I believe he presented at GrrCON the same year he presented at Black Hat. So like, oh wow, yeah, it was kind of a big get.
And Black Hat's like the biggest one in the country in Vegas, right?
Yeah, and you get all the like OG dudes going like, oh, it's not as cool as it used to be when it was 7 guys in the back of a hotel. But
that's like everything in life, though. There are always those those haters.
Skating. Yeah. I was skating before it was cool, man. Yep. I think our good friend James King, who's been a 2-time guest on the pod, will be presenting with his boy Greg about reverse engineering malware. That'll be a cool talk.
Yeah.
So there's usually like 2 or 3 tracks. There's super cheap training that like security training's obnoxiously expensive. Like it is not unusual for like specialized training to run you $5,000 for a week.
Wow.
Yeah. It's crazy. At GrrCON, if you go on their website and sign up ahead of time, there's a bunch of like trainings you can sign up for. They want like $10 or something ridiculous like that.
Wow. So at the conference, you can get this security training that's normally like crazy expensive.
Indeed. From good peeps. I think I'm taking a look at their schedule. I'm not sure if they're going to have a Hacks for Kids this year.
Oh, that's cool. Like what kind of age range has that been typically? What kind of kids?
Young kids, like teenies.
Oh, when you say young, I think of like my 3-year-old. I'm like, I don't know if he even knows what a computer is, let alone hacking one.
That's a little young.
Yeah.
So like they also, you ever played Battle, Mech Warrior? This is sort of an old nerdy battle tech thing.
Is it with tanks?
Kind of. So like when Japanese robot anime got really popular, there was a gaming company who kind of, I think, is probably still involved with lawsuits about this, but sort of ripped off that idea and made BattleTech, which was a game that I think Microsoft owned for a while. And they're still out there making MechWarrior games on the internet. Like, I want to say, man, late 80s, early 90s, when computing was just getting like commercially feasible. They made these pods that like had a bunch of screens in them and then like a bunch of control surfaces like flippers and dials and knobs and controllers.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
That interfaced with the computer and then played this robot versus robot fighting game.
That's
so
great.
Yeah, like
kind of like you were controlling the giant robot.
Right. So like you're in the cockpit of the giant robot and you're looking at these screens that are showing you the other giant robots.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
It is pretty awesome.
So when are we going to be there?
Exactly. Pretty sure it's like sometime in a couple of weeks.
Right. It's like October 25th and 26th, right?
There you go. That Thursday and that Friday.
Gotcha.
I plan on being there almost the whole time Friday. I got to duck out for some stuff, but see some of the conferences. It's at DeVos Place. So it's right in downtown GR, like walking distance from the college. There'll be the lockpicking village is always fun. So there'll be usually there's a contest where like you have to get out of some crazy contraption. So they had a whole jail cell that the contest was to pick your way out of the cell. So you were picking the lock outside the door, like in reverse.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a super like tricky scenario. The kids who won it were awesome. They'll do, I think they're going to have the car hacking setup. I'm not sure if that's brought to you by our friend Matt, who was on the pod or not. I don't know whose car hacking setup it is, but they'll give you a chance to check out all that hacking CAN bus stuff. So there'll be a table out there with all these automotive components that you can walk up to and try and hack at.
What do you think the odds are of someone coming up to you and or I or wherever we're recording and chatting with people and being like, hey, I heard you were going to be here on your podcast, so I came to say hello.
Should we have like a bonus gift for those people?
I just think it's so unlikely. But so yeah, like if they come and say, hey, I heard that you're going to be at this conference on the podcast, so I came. They get a special like feature on the podcast. I don't know what we should do, but it just seems like it won't happen. But
all right, well, you heard it here first. You plan on being there both days?
Yeah, I'm going to be there. We're going to try and record a collage of conversations with cool people. And if you want to come up and say hi and, talk to us on the podcast and then hear yourself later on the podcast.
That'd be amazing.
Come.
Yep.
But I'm going to put the odds at pretty low.
Pretty slim? All right. There's a Dungeons and Dragons village this year too.
Oh, that's cool.
You ever wanted to play D&D? Did you see... Darn it, what's that show? Stranger Things. Did you see Stranger Things and think, man, I'd love to give that a try?
Yeah, I'd love to embattle myself in a giant monster that takes over the city. No, yeah, I started playing D&D actually late in life, and it's becoming more and more popular, I think, even amongst adults, and it is really fun and really cool, especially if you're into great storytelling, interesting characters, hanging out with your friends, eating awesome snacks, and drinking good beer. If you're into all of that, D&D is actually super cool. So
it's the snacks that's the important part.
At the conference then, is there just like a continual D&D session happening that you can just drop in on, or what does that mean?
Your guess is as good as mine. Yeah. I'm excited to find out what it looks like this year.
Just roll up with some absurd character.
Maybe, yeah. It seems like you can't do like character generation and story building that quickly, but at least according to this, if you've heard about it but don't know what it's all about, join us for a fun introduction to the world of RPGs. 6 players at a time, classic dungeon crawl, walk-ups only. They're going to restart the games every 60 to 90 minutes, I guess.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So it's kind of like if you've always wanted to try it out, here's like a glimpse.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool.
They're going to bring their own dice. They're going to have pre-generated characters.
Oh, okay. So you can't roll up with your own.
Right. Here's my 73 level paladin.
I am a high level druid. I just turned into a giant boar.
Dun, dun, dun. Yep, and then they do Thursday after party. Kind of can get out of control. They used to make like everybody put their cell phone away and would like evict you from the event if you had it out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was adult entertainment.
Yeah.
Grown up fun. Not that kind of adult entertainment.
Yeah.
Although, I wouldn't count it out.
Who knows what could happen?
Mm-hmm.
Get wild at GrrCON. That should be their tagline. GrrCON, get wild.
Because nobody's actually, like, in all fairness, like cybersecurity people tend to be on the sort of not
Crazy
so side
side,
of thing. Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little bit. Plus, not always well practiced at drinking. So like when they get to a conference and like get 2 shots in
Can't
them,
handle it. Yeah. Rough.
not like the pros.
Yeah. So the person who started this, his name is Chris. Started this conference. His name is Chris Hayes.
Chris Hayes. Let's make sure we get his name right. Chris Payne, but with
Payne. Is Chris Hayes like a celebrity? Who is Chris Hayes?
Chris Payne. He was. I think he was doing security for Priority Health when I met him the first time. Priority Health became part of Spectrum. He was doing work there. He was part of the contingent that wound up at Target after Target had their breach. Like, as I understand it right now, he's the big dog over at Zillow, like the people who tell you that your house is worth more than it's worth.
Yeah. When your neighbors are selling their house, so you want to look and see what the inside of their house looks like.
And you go totally good for that. It's totally great for that. We have done exactly that thing with the people to our north.
Mm-hmm. You were actually able to have a chat with Chris, the guy who started GrrCON. And let's take a listen and see what Chris has to say about GrrCON.
You are Christopher Payne, Chief Information Security Officer. Did I read that right?
You did.
For the Zillows?
All the Zillows.
The people who tell me that my house is worth bajillions of dollars.
No comment on that.
They tell me my house is worth, I'm sure, exactly what the comps in the area determine that it is worth. Man, that's a big deal. Congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's good times. It's fun.
Excellent. All right, let's get this out in the open. I've been dining out on this story that I might be the only person to have ever choked out Christopher Payne in a mixed martial arts competition. Can you confirm or deny these allegations?
I can confirm.
All right, yeah. So like we did a little rolling at Grand Rapids Mixed Martial Arts.
Yeah. Many years ago, yes.
Back when I was allowed to do that kind of thing because I wasn't an old ass broke man like I am now.
I'm there with you.
I feel you. So, all right. So you're also sometimes known as the Egg Drop X.
That is also me.
So were you a Bitch X client kind of person or more of a MIRC? A Windows IRC client thing? Is that where that comes from?
It comes from IRC bots, yes.
IRC bots. That's the internet relay chat for the, it's
the youngins.
Right. It's like how Discord used to work back in the day. I think it's literally how
yeah.
What's the other one? The Slack used to be like an IRC client.
It's really the same thing.
Right, the kids these days. And as I peruse your LinkedIn profile, you also appear to be the poster boy for Davenport University. You want to tell me about your educational background here real quick?
Yeah, so after my first failed attempt at college, and I joined the military, I got out. I went back to school. I went to Davenport. I have 2 bachelor's degrees and 2 master's degrees from Davenport.
2 master's degrees, one in the cyber, and then you're an MBA to boot?
Yeah, and then I started teaching there as an adjunct for 5 years until I moved to Minnesota for my job in at Target.
That had something to do with, they had some sort of a breach prior to your time there. If I remember
yeah,
correctly.
something there happened. It was in the news. I don't really know. Like, I can't really talk about it, but then I went there, and a bunch of other people went there too.
Yeah, it seems like there was this sucking sound right around somewhere over on the East Beltline in West Michigan.
Yeah, I thought I was going to get a cease and desist letter from the governor of Michigan when I took like 13 people.
Was that the number? 13? Dang.
Yeah, it was worth it.
And introduce them to the beautiful sub-zero climates that are the Twin Cities.
I don't live there anymore.
That sort of makes you super duper evil. Like, hey guys, come with me. See ya.
Well, let's be clear. When I moved to Seattle, I took a few of them with me here too.
Oh, brother.
It's kind of my gig. I find cool people and I steal them.
Yeah, well, you sort of get an entourage, talented individuals such as yourself. Bring good people with you.
No, I mean, I don't know how talented I am. I just surround myself with smart people. So it works out.
That's a talent, right? But the reason I bring up Davenport University is I've got a pretty sweet deal. I haven't seen the paperwork from the president has to sign off on this, the president of our institution. We're going to have a deal where we're going to pay people to go to college. We've got one of these scholarship for service grants coming up. And
awesome.
Yeah, if you're like a young person who needs to, has an interest in the cybers and needs to pay for school, we're going to be, I think it's $25,000 a year for the stipend plus a full ride. Yeah.
Hell yeah. We need people.
Awesome. Right. And the sort of Faustian bargain is that you have to then serve in state, local, federal, or tribal government afterwards, but it's not like those are bad jobs. Any of the three-letter agencies qualify,
That's cool. How long?
As long as they pay you to go to school, you have to go work. So if you do 3 years, a sophomore year with me and then 2 more years at Davenport, then you've paid them back. Although I guess other institutions sometimes, like if Google comes a calling and they're like, we'll hire you. And they're like, but I'd have to pay back this loan. Sometimes Google's like, all right, we'll pay back the loan.
Yeah, it's pretty common actually.
Well, I'm not going to tell them. So, all right. So we're going to make them do their work. So tell me about this GrrCON thing. Why do you have, you're the chief information security officer for Zillow, and you have a conference that you and a bunch of other talented individuals in the town put on in Grand Rapids, Michigan? What's up with that? How'd that start?
Yes. So about 10 years ago, I went to a small security event ran by one of the local nonprofit security groups. I won't say their name. And it wasn't very good. So I figured, I don't know, I could do better than that. So I decided I'm going to do better than that. And I went from that till 3 months later, putting on the first GrrCON. This is like GrrCON 9, so it's been a while. And it's grown every year. We've started with like 500 people, and now we stopped selling tickets at 2,000. It's an old school, computer hacker conference. So I think, some of the bigger security cons that are now overcrowded, in my opinion. Like what
the
they
hacker
used to
summer camps of the world.
Yeah. So this is like what those were like 15 years ago, back when it was a little smaller, more about fun, learning and meeting people, and less about parties and, clicks. In my humble opinion, like that's what I intended the thing to be, right? It's a family environment where the intent is literally to have fun with people and get to know them and, make connections and learn some cool shit.
Right. So in the family environment vein, are you guys doing Hacks for Kids this year?
Oh yeah. Yep. Hack for Kids is an all-day event on Friday.
I asked because I might want to get my kids.
You should. Yeah, you should. Man, it's great. My kids have gone to it. Like it's a good introduction for some of the younger kids, and it's nice reinforcement for some of the younger tweens, early teenage kids. See how this field really works, and if they have interest, it's a great opportunity.
That is super cool. Yeah, I think I will get them down. And so the event is 2 days. And am I remembering this correctly? Did you have Moxie Marlinspike on the year he broke up something rather important on the internet?
So I had Moxie as our very first keynote to the very first GrrCON in 2011.
No doubt. And he had done something rather significant at that time?
I'll let people do their own research. I don't want to tell other people's stories, but it was a good time.
I'm a fan because I also am a wannabe hacker / sailor. So also probably wannabe sailor. Not really great at that either. But
Moxie's a good guy. He's a really smart guy.
No doubt. Responsible for the app I used to text you on today, no less. So that's GrrCON coming up the end of October. I have a note here to remind myself to thank you for all you have done for GrrCC and our students, because occasionally you get a discounted rate for some of those guys.
Yeah, we give out probably 100 student tickets a year, in addition to the discounted tickets we sell out every year.
Yeah, I always warn
So
people if they really want to go, you should buy
yep,
one for, it's like what, $50, something like that?
50 bucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally worth it.
Yep. And it's not sponsored by anybody. So we're not like some other cons where a vendor pays a difference. We literally just eat that difference. It costs us more than 50 bucks to host somebody. It's literally just us giving back the best we can.
Dude, we appreciate that. So you also do another one. I seem to remember you were associated with something called GrrCON.
Yeah. So I moved to Minnesota for a previous job. And once I got there, I started meeting the local security community. And in my opinion, they were missing, like, again, like, fun kind of computer hacking training thing. So what I did there is, so GrrCON still happens in June. It's the only time that it's habitable in Minnesota. So it's in June.
It's the middle of summer.
Right. It's GrrCON because it's cold. Burr, you get it, huh? And I'm also bad with names, so we changed the G to a B, made it a Burr instead of a Gurr.
So you remember which one you're working on?
Yeah, well, yeah, it gets confusing, but I'm not that smart. But anyway, so this one's completely free. There's no ticket cost. There are no vendor sponsors, so nobody's gonna pester you for email addresses and all that stuff. What I did is I went to basically the 5 or 6 biggest companies, went to talk to their CISOs, told them, hey, I want to do this thing. I want you guys to pay for it. Have training, free, a good opportunity for your teams to network and learn some cool stuff. And it's certainly cheaper than sending people to really expensive training courses, which I think we actually give better content because I have local professionals doing the training, the stuff they do every day. And then we've done it 3 times now. It's only 1,000 people. It sells out in like 3 hours because it's free, obviously.
Good price.
Yeah, you can't really fight it. Yeah, so we've done that for like 3 years now. It's not like GrrCON. GrrCON's more hackery shenanigans. Like at GrrCON, we have tattoo artists and free beer, and we bring in cards you can hack. At GrrCON in Minnesota, it's more, I won't say professional because that's not really who I am, but it's more chill. It's not people running around in T-Rex costumes and throwing Nerf balls at the speaker. It's just more of a laid back kind of just pseudo professional environment.
Gotcha. As you remind me about the T-Rex costume, have you guys invested in a t-shirt gun?
So I don't want to give away too much for this year, but we talked about some kind of automated device to expel objects at people.
Sounds like an interesting idea.
Without trying to, injure people, because I'm not about that.
Gotcha. So,
GrrCON anyways.
Right, not professionally. I have had a handful of like red teamy type folks on the pod in the past, and you're like as solidly, I would imagine, and now you're kind of like purple being a CISO. You have to like handle the red team stuff and handle the blue team stuff too.
So at my last gig at my last job, I also was responsible for building the red team there.
Oh, okay.
So I've done both. At my job before that, when I was still in Grand Rapids, I built the offensive security team for the health system I worked at there as well. So it's not new to me. I've done some pen testing back in way back when I was not old. But yeah, so it's not new to me. Blue is definitely where my heart lives. But the red team's fun stuff too.
I think you once told me that bro plus something equals win. And I was trying to remember what those somethings were since my security onion box, it's Elastic Stack, just filled up. But I remember you saying something about that as something one time. Do you remember what the other somethings were?
So you're talking about network security devices. So bro is awesome. Saracata is amazing. NetSniff is pretty sweet. I'm a security onion guy, like straight up. Like if Phil,
that's what I'm running right now.
Yep, I'm a fan. It's good stuff. So I mean, those are full of win. I'm not a big Elastic Elk stat guy, not instant response, because Elk is best effort and information security, especially forensic type stuff. If I search for a hash or something, I need to make sure it's not actually there. Not that it might not be there.
We forgot to get it there.
Right, because Elk Elastic, that's what it does. It's best effort. So I'm actually not a fan of that. But I mean, I don't want to pimp people's tools here, but Saracata is amazing, Bro's amazing, NetSense is amazing. Like it's all cheap or free.
Right. And so if you are looking for, I'd like to recommend to my students that if you're going to have a home lab, you should watch the packets going into it and out of it. And that's a great way to do it for like, if you can find a cheap beat up laptop that has a smashed display and stuff, it'll still do the job. Oh,
totally. And I mean, if you're going to play with like intrusion detection stuff, I mean, YAR is where it's at, and Saracata will help you with that. I mean, I'm always looking for people who can do YAR rules.
Oh boy, that sounds like an exciting way to spend your day. Google that one up, kids. YAR rules.
It kind of is. I mean, if you're into it, you're into it, and that's what I always look for. People that like doing what they do.
Right.
Can teach you anything, right? I mean, show some passion.
That is great advice to lead us on. Is there anything you would like to mention to the literally dozens of listeners that we have to this podcast?
All dozens. I mean,
we're into the high tens easily.
No, I mean, if you got some free time and you're interested in security, you think you might be, like, come out to GrrCON or come to BurCon, or even go to the local. Davenport does some security things, ISSA, ISC Squared. Go meet some people. Right? Like when I go to security cons, like I don't go to talks anymore because they're always videoed. Watch them later. I go to meet people. I literally stand in the hallway and just talk to people I don't know. Like,
is that the hallway con you hear so much about these days?
Yep. Sometimes it's called lobby con, but yeah, I mean that's what I do. Like I go to cons to meet people because people will solve problems for you. That problem might be I need to hire somebody. Problem might be I need to build some new thing they've done before. I can just call them and ask. Like you never know. And I honestly met a lot of really close friends that way. So that's my advice. If you're interested, then be interested. If you're not, then don't. Like, shit or get out the pot.
Go find something else to do with your time.
Yep.
Groovy, man. All right. Well, I appreciate it. Where can the people find you on the internets?
At EggDropX.
On the Twitters?
On the Twitters.
And GrrCON is GrrCON.com?
Yep. Or .org. And BurCon is BurCon. And I bought a name for out here in Seattle if I decide to start one here called SpurCon.
All right. Is that the, I always thought, wait, so like, how did GrrCON become GrrCON? I always figured it was because the airport's GRR.
So every time somebody asks, I give them a different story. So,
oh, good.
I mean, I can make some shit up if you want, but
yeah, let's see.
It's the Greater Regional Wrestling Con.
Wrestling spelled with an R.
Yeah. It's like, the 3 R's, arithmetic, I just kind of do what I want.
Wrestling.
Yeah, that was cool. He seems like a cool dude. GrrCON should be fun.
I've managed to go this far talking about GrrCON without mentioning that there's free beer pretty much the whole time.
Is there?
Yeah. So,
is there like a company that's sponsoring it and that's how they're able to swing that? Or?
I think they pay for the kegs, and I think the good beer runs out pretty early on. So be prepared for day drinking.
Wow. That's pretty unique, I'd say, to a conference like that.
No, with cybersecurity.
Not with cybersecurity.
Bunch of lushes. I kid. But
that's cool.
With love and concern, I kid. Like,
right.
Maybe it's time to start talking about if we have a problem in this industry.
Yeah.
If there should be some sort of intervention.
What's that website that you're getting all that I see you flying through?
Quickly running through. Yeah, just GrrCON.com.
Okay. Cool.
And you will learn all the things about it. So
it seems like it's pretty popular. Like I think I was looking on it, and somewhere it was it's annual, right? Mm-hmm. It was talking about last year, and there were some notes on there about all tickets are sold out. All tickets are so it seems like it's pretty popular.
Yeah, it's big, and it's the one in West Michigan that's not just like for the suits, that's not going to be a bunch of vendors pitching you things. It's like people who are out in the trenches talking about what it is they're doing, on both sides of that football, right? They're the offensive guys and the defensive guys and the kids who want to get into the industry some. I presented at a conference earlier this year where they straight up said, yeah, if you don't have a purchasing role at your company, we're not really interested in having you at our conference. Dang. It's like, wow. So I won't be inviting the students then, huh?
Sweet.
So some people... some people, and like, sure, there's a place for that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
vendors have to push their wares somewhere. It's just not here.
Right. Cool. Which is great.
All right.
So maybe we'll see you, and maybe you'll get on this podcast. You can tell your friends that you made it onto the Defeasible Racing podcast.
That's basically world fame right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
you'd immediately get to like the highest level of your friend group.
you win, Dirty, if you're like, hey man, I'm on a podcast called Defeasible. What?
Yeah. Cool. That sounds great.
Yeah. We hope to see you guys there. Our dozens and dozens of listeners.
Yes, we will see you there.
Defeasible Reasoning is produced at the Epic Studios of Grand Rapids Community College, Media Technologies Department. Epically executive produced by Noah D. Smith and hosted by me, Drew Rosemont.